So I created this article on how to auto refresh dashboards in ServiceNow without hurting performance. So this is quite significant. As you build, is also you are looking at the non-functional aspects, and from there you can basically build it correctly. And I have this question about how auto refresh works. So this is a very good one because to be able to respond to this, you need to understand the architecture of the platform. And let me write that on the whiteboard. And first, you need to understand that ServiceNow is a web technology. So it has a browser. So this I'm representing this as a browser. So from here, one event is an onload. So auto refresh is also an event at the same time, an object. And it will come back to your skill set of object-oriented programming because everything is an object. So we are in the web technology, we are using the browser object. And I'd like you to understand in every event from the client side, you are doing a HTTP request. So I want to make sure that you understand the basics and go to the advanced. So you build the whole picture because as you understand the analogy of the technology, then you can solve any problem. You will understand that is it a syntactical, is it an object problem, or you need to raise a ticket at ServiceNow because you only have access to a certain point. And knowing the technology, by just looking at it, you will learn straight away that it is a problem, a platform issue. So I'll let you decide the correctness of the error and be able to look deeper behind the scenes what's happening. Okay, so now we had a HTTP request and it calls to the servers behind the scenes and it will have a HTTP response. And I'll make it very simple on the network calling back and forth. I only showed you two ways, but it's more complex than that. But as you come here to the server side, then you will have multiple layers. You can have a application server layer, and you may have the database layer and so on now being called. And how ServiceNow works is you have JavaScript on the front end, and below it, you have the Java implementation happening behind the scenes. So that's why you will see once you install plugins, it is using the COM naming convention. So meaning it is commercial. So Java applications, they normally start with COM and provide the necessary naming conventions depending on the purpose. So now let us go back to the events. So on the onload, then basically this object allows you to trigger a call to the server side and back to the client side. And what I'm talking about is this is page lifecycle. So this is one of them. And this is a normal web technology. And next is you have the button is another. So the button you submit, you refresh depending on the purpose. So this is a trigger on demand. So both of them is on demand. And auto refresh is another event. So this is like both native and created type of events. So it depends where you are. And now in our topic, we're talking about dashboard. So auto refresh in a dashboard sitting on top of the ServiceNow platform. The question is more of the where and is it available because it is a SaaS platform. Then what is basically being exposed is what you can also consume. So there's two ways of looking at it. So on this drawing here, this is the platform where this is where dashboard and reports are sitting. And you have the UI builder as another example where you can build dashboards. And you have the workflow engine, which is on top. So it is a canvas which allows you to create code as what you're seeing here. So now let us go back to the auto refresh. As you understand this analogy that I'm showing, then easily you will understand how it works, where it works, and the why. Okay, so I'll give you a live example. So I created a client script code that will give you a picture of the auto refresh. So let me clear the screen. Because depending on what layer you're at, are you in the client side, server side, then what object you are using, it will give you a feel and picture on your decision-making techniques and your strategy in applying auto refresh. So here's, since we are using client script, as you look on the top left, we are calling the incident table or the incident object and using the onload. So as the page loads, which I showed you earlier, then it will trigger this line 2, which is a native JavaScript object. And we have combined it with ServiceNow libraries. So now, depending where you're at, let me draw this. Since we are inside the ServiceNow platform and using the DOM, so you are at the DOM, that's why the alert object is working, because this is client-side, the DOM or document object model is client-side. So this is the DOM, and you have this platform, which is ServiceNow. That's why the G_form object is going to provide a notification. So it is a library sitting on top. So if you look at it correctly, you have the native JavaScript by hierarchy. Then you have ServiceNow library, which is consuming the JavaScript native object. So that's why you can combine it inside the browser. So that said, let me clear this. So as we load this, so our purpose here is to notify that the page is working as expected. And now as we go back, open this page, I created this code using the setInterval function. So this is a native JavaScript. So you can see that as you learn JavaScript easily, you can also manipulate and manage the ServiceNow libraries. So meaning, because as you use a JavaScript, ServiceNow is creating a wrapper. So let me draw that one here. So you have this JavaScript library, which is native, and ServiceNow is creating a wrapper and enhancing the JavaScript library, which comes out here, which is reusable. That's why you have the G_form. So you don't have the ability to look inside of the G_form, but what you can do is, like, since you will be familiar with the JavaScript native techniques, it is just using the same one. So meaning is, like, as you go straight to the library of JavaScript, ServiceNow is reusing that by creating a wrapper because it is sitting on top of the document object model. So that is one view if you're on the client side. But if you're on the server side, it's a different story because it's not using the DOM anymore. It's using server-side JavaScript. Okay, so now once you understand the analogy and now you're looking at dashboard and reports in this view, then you are setting into another wrapper. So I'll add it here, which is dashboard and reports, then the UI builder and so on. Then the question is, did they create a wrapper to help you build the auto refresh to make it correctly? Then if it's not there, then you have to go back to this angle on creating an auto refresh. So let us do that now as well. Let us run this example. So meaning, so you can have a picture of how the auto refresh works. So now let me clear the screen to give you a picture. See it live. So we have two objects running simultaneously, and this is going to happen on load. So now I've opened this incident page or incident record. So let's reload, and this should work as expected. So you can see that it has run the alerts or loaded the alert. So the alert basically comes after the onload is basically complete. So all the library behind the scenes is happening. So now it's like if you open the developer tools, so it will give you that sense of the behavior of the libraries behind the scenes. And you can see here is this is not encrypted. So meaning you can also see the library. So depending on how the code is basically written, it can be encrypted, not encrypted. So luckily this one is not. So you can see inside the code what's happening. So you can further debug this and look at on how the behavior and the calls are basically happening. Okay, so let me clear the screen up to give you a picture. So you can see the behavior is happening on the top. But I'd like you to take note that once you do auto refresh, apply AJAX techniques. So I'll tell you why. So you have the page. So if you're auto refreshing the whole page, then it's quite heavy. And the amount of network calls, because it has to load every single one of them. But if you work on it on like widgets, on like the dashboards and reports, so ServiceNow did a good job there. It's like you can create individual reports, which comes out as a widget where you can call auto refresh. So you use AJAX. So this is very important. So asynchronously, you are updating this report asynchronously while you call to the database. Okay, so the key takeaways here is like for you to be able to solve any type of auto refresh or any type of challenge is to understand what technology you're using. Is the SDK available for you to utilize? And if it's not, you have to build one. And since ServiceNow is a canvas, you can create scripts and with limitation of what's available for you. So meaning the wrappers that I showed you previously is constantly improving. So looking at the wrapper and also the native JavaScript libraries. And from there, you'll be confident, is this a platform fault? Then you can raise a ticket. And is it something already available? Or you may need to build an SDK or an API or an object that will help you achieve your goals in making that requirement available inside the ServiceNow platform. So I hope I managed to help you and everyone on this video. And keep on asking questions. I'm happy to answer. I'll see you in my next video.